Welcome back to the Moon Getting Started guide. Last episode, we got familiar with the interface. This episode, we're going to start setting up the foundation for our habitat. Let's go ahead and hop out of our lander. You can see we got food and water in there. So first thing, we're going to need to go through, we've got our survival supplies. We've got hydroponic supplies. Here's our construction supplies. So this is going to be the one we're going to use first. We've also got electrical and airlock supplies. So we're going to come over to our yellow crate. It's going to be the construction supplies. We're going to go ahead and grab some iron frames. This is going to be what you're going to start out with. We want to find a nice spot that we can set up that's going to be fairly flat, not blocked by anything. We can see our sunrise is in this direction, so that's something to consider for a greenhouse. I think we're going to go ahead and set up on this hill. This looks like a good spot. I'm going to right click. It's going to bring up the build. And these actually snap to the planet. So I'm going to go ahead and place down a 3x4 area for this. This is what I like to start out with. So we're going to go ahead and place this. So it's a good little starter platform. Come back over here. Next, we need to actually grab the iron sheets. We're going to have to weld these into position. Let's go ahead and drag this duct tape into there. All right, so then I'm going to push 6, pull up my tool belt. I'm going to take out my torch, and you can push O or you can right click to turn this on. And with the iron sheets in my left hand, right hand has my torch. I'm going to go ahead and weld these sheets in. And just left clicking to weld these in here. Now these 2x3 area, I'm actually going to weld twice. That's actually going to seal them up so they're airtight. We want airtight area for making the greenhouse and a breathable area. So just to point out, these ones are not airtight. I can see through them. These ones are airtight. This is going to be where I put walls up. So we're going to do that next. Let's grab the kit iron walls out of here. And go ahead and place. Now, normally you can just place them like this. I actually like to flip them around and place them on the outside. This will let us work on the wiring and piping and everything else we got to work on without having to go outside to work on it. I'm going to go ahead and make windows. So we're going to do window here and there. And I'm going to flip this around. To rotate your building stuff, you're going to use your insert home, page up, page down, delete, and end. It's going to be how you rotate your stuff up and down and left, right, around the square here. All right, and then same thing up top. Let's put windows across the top here. And we do need to leave ourselves an opening for an airlock. So let's get back to our wall. There are some different types. You can mouse scroll wheel and it'll scroll through the different types. Really, these just have different patterns of the seams on them. That's how you switch to the window as well. Doesn't really matter in this case what type we're using. Go ahead and put my airlock on this side here. And next, we just need some iron sheets, which we already have in our inventory. So I'm push E, switch over to those. Let's go ahead and start putting these iron sheets in here. Just click and hold on these. It'll put the sheet in. You can see our windows to make a frame. So what we're going to need to grab is next is the glass sheets. Now that we put these glass sheets in here, this will actually enclose this. You can see we're putting glass in here. Hard to see that there's actually something going in. Be able to tell if there's glass. You can actually see these lines in it. The glass has lines in it. So you can kind of see that there. Also, if you can't really tell, you can just jump and you can kind of see on the seam here. I can see lines, so I know that there's glass in there. All right, so next we need to go over to our airlock supplies. Should be the dark green. We need to grab our 2 doors. So there's 2 kit doors in here. Which door doesn't necessarily matter. What I'd like to do is put the power and the data connectors on the inside of the airlock. Just makes it easier to set everything up. You can do the composite or the glass door. I'm going to do a composite door for the interior, and I'll do a glass door for the exterior. So we'll set those both up like that. All right, so next we need to get some plastic sheets. We're going to have to weld these in. So get our torch. So you can see here, if I got the sheets, it says welding torch and 1 plastic sheet required to continue construction, or a wrench to deconstruct. So I could actually grab my wrench. If I don't like the placement, I can deconstruct it. So in this case, we'll take our torch out with sheets in our other hand, and we can construct here. Now you do have to be careful welding inside. As you can see, my temperature down here is pretty high in this space now. It will eventually bleed out into the vacuum, but you just got to be careful welding inside, as it does introduce heat and gases, very hot gases, to your atmosphere. So let's go put these back over here. And so now we need to get glass sheets. And we're going to go ahead and use the crowbar. This will let us construct that. To finish it up, I'm going to go ahead and force open with the crowbar. I'm going to force that open. So we have a space. So obviously none of this is going to work if we don't have some kind of power. So we need a power source. So I'm going to take, we need, electrical supplies. Got the portable generator. We don't need that yet. Let's get our solar panel going. And we need the area power controller. And we'll need cable coil, which I already have in my tool belt here. We'll need a battery to go with. Need a battery to go with the area power controller. So let's go set up a quick power setup. We know that our sun's going overhead from this side over straight overhead to behind Earth in this case, so that we can set up our solar panel according to that. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump up here. Let's set up a solar panel like this. And let's force this open because we need to get in here. So we've got the connectors facing outside. I did that intentionally, as that way I can place my area power controller. So we're going to have one area power controller here. Let's see, we can actually rotate this. I like to do my battery slot. You can kind of see the battery slot a little bit in the bottom there. So we're going to go this way for this area power controller. And I'm going to go the opposite direction, but over here for this power controller. I'll show you when I wire it up why we do that. So let's put this one up here. Let's get our crowbar. We can force these open. And so let's get our wire cutters and let's get our cable coil. So this is how we're going to wire this up. So I'm going to go just kind of moving these cable coils in a way. Using scroll wheel to shift through the different types. So I'm going to use a junction here. We actually don't need a junction, so let's remove that. We need a corner here. Need a junction here. Oh, that's not going to work. As you can see, the door is actually in the way for this one, so I cannot place that where I intended. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring that around the corner up top. Let's take these apart here. Let's do a junction here to go down. And a corner and a straight. And then on this side, we can see this. If you hover over this like that, you can see this is the input. So it says this is input, which is what we want. So then let's get this facing up like that and a corner here that is connected. So now we can drag a battery in here, flip this on, and you can see we're green. That's good. Once we start using electric, this will flash blue and red. And if we're charging, it'll flash blue and green. Right now we're green because we're not using anything. So let's go ahead and drag our cable coil and our wire cutters back over here. Let's go grab that other second battery. And we're going to put that in here. So now we have a basic setup of our electric. Let's get this solar panel finished. You'll need a glass sheet. So you got the kit that you place first, and then you actually have to put a glass sheet in it to finish it. So now you can see we have a working solar panel. I'm not generating any electricity though because the sun is down. So let's put this back. All right, so we've got ourselves a space set up here. We've got general power, so we got power production. We're going to be taking in solar energy that's running through, and it's going to keep our systems charged. So flip this on too. So this is going to generate wattage. It's going to go through our cables, come in, and it's going to charge our batteries through this area power controller. I've got one set up for the airlock. It's going to be on its own system, and everything inside and outside for production will be on its own system as well. Alternatively, we could actually do this is the internal one, and then this one goes outside to run all that stuff. That actually sounds like a better idea, so we'll do that. We're going to set up this one, come down. It's going to feed all of our stuff inside, and then this one will go out, and it will feed all our stuff outside. So for the basic setup of a base, this will get you started as far as a power. We can now recharge our batteries through this. So I could take and swap this battery cell out for this one. You can see it's red. It's not using anything, but it's not fully charged. So this will start charging once the sun comes up. That's exactly what we want. So this is going to conclude episode 2 of the Moon Getting Started Guide. We've finished our power production and have a way to charge our batteries. In the next episode, we'll cover setting up the airlock and the manufacturing that you start with. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.